desiring your prayers to the Lord in our behalf.
Never gave the least occasion to suspect them of
names are
Having had no other evidences against me but the spectre
It is the
evidences.
distressed condition of our wives.
But whereas
your
your
relations
So
in prison,
not
save
shouting
them.
that
Lord,
your
accompany
excellency
our poor
if it
and
might
your
be without
honors will
offence to
readily
speak
adore
something
and
in their
homage.
behalf,
knowing my own
with no other
innocence.
design therein
Distressed woman.
than that the truth may appear.
The first thing we know about Anne Foster, that we think we know about Anne Foster, is that she sailed from England to the Massachusetts Bay Colony on the ship Abigail in 1635. There is a woman listed on the ship's logs named Annis, A-N-N-I-S, Alcock, and people assume that that is Anne Foster. We really don't know for sure that it can be historically checked off or documented that that's the case, but most people believe that that was her. At 20, Anne married Andrew Foster, a man of 50, 30 years her senior. People question if it was a marriage of convenience for one or both of them, and perhaps it was, but from what I can tell, it was a marriage of love. Andrew speaks of Anne in his will, calling her his beloved wife, and leaves her with enough to make sure she is taken care of and comfortable. It was known in the community that Andrew Foster was a kind, good man. I refuse to believe that it was not a marriage of love. Anne and Andrew were the parents of 5 children and were married for 50 years, Andrew dying in 1685 when he was 100. In 1646, Andrew became one of the founding members of the town of Andover and was granted a portion of land. By then, they would have been married about 9 years. When Andrew died, things in Anne's family slowly began to unravel, with various tragedies in her family, some out of their control and some caused by members of her family. By 1692, at 75 years old, Anne was an easy target. She was accused by 2 girls brought to Andover from Salem for the purpose of tracking down witches, specifically the witch who Joseph Ballard believed was hurting his wife, Elizabeth. Anne was arrested in July and interrogated 4 times over the course of 7 days. On the 4th, her daughter Mary Lacy and her granddaughter Mary Lacy Jr. were arrested and questioned as well. It didn't take long for Anne to confess. She was old and so frail that she had to be carried into court. A few striking things about Anne's confession are that first, she claimed to have ridden on a stick to a witches' meeting with Martha Carrier. Second, she claimed to have hurt different children of the town by using poppets. And third and most important, she claimed that there were 305 witches in the country and that they would harm people and set up the devil's kingdom. No one had ever said there were so many witches running rampant in New England. It set off a panic that led to more and more arrests being made. What Anne's confession did not do was cast blame on her daughter and granddaughter. She said her sin was hers and hers alone. Mary and Mary Jr. did not show such loyalty. They both turned on Anne, accusing her of bringing them to the devil. In September, Anne was sentenced to be hanged, but circumstances held it up. Perhaps the fact that the governor's wife was also accused may have factored into the equation. In October, a petition signed and circulated by the families of the accused and the convicted put enough pressure on the courts that they had to listen to the voice of the people. It also helped that Increase Mather, the famous and beloved reverend, began to question the validity of spectral evidence. Not that it wasn't possible, but that they may not be able to tell if it was truly being used or not. Anne spent nearly 5 months in the Salem jail. Even though she was a frail old woman, to me, she must have had some inner strength that she pulled on to last as long as she did under such horrific conditions as she did. To learn more about Anne Foster and the painful events of her life and family and her tragic end, we hope you'll watch the film I Be a Witch. We've made every possible effort to be true to Anne and her story, taking just a little license here and there for dramatic effect. But everything we say happened to Anne happened to her. If you want to learn more about Anne Foster, watch our film, I Be a Witch. You will find a link in the description below. Or subscribe to our channel, Wounded Unicorn Productions. And thanks for watching.